Okay, well, welcome to the Empowered Coaching program. And today we're going to talk about Mindscripting. And we were doing this live before, but we had some technical problems. And so we've just invited a few people in who are watching now, and we're going to record this and then put it up for everyone to look at. And I have some of your questions here, and we'll be going over those. The idea is to really talk about what Mindscripting is, which is at the core of most of Zygon's main technology. So this is unlocking the power of Mindscripting, the future of transformation. And I guess what I want to start out with is talking a little bit about what makes Mindscripting unique. And the problem with traditional self-improvement programs are that they rely on conscious effort, which means affirmations, a certain amount of motivation or motivational speaking, willpower. And the issue with that is that the subconscious mind is actually running the show. And so your deep-seated beliefs aren't really being affected by your subconscious, which is really in charge of the program. And most of us don't realize, but it is our unconscious mind that actually drives our life. So we will, in relationship, for example, we'll set up in our unconscious mind little problems that come out just to be able to have, these emotional issues, get resolved. So what makes Mindscripting different is that instead of fighting your conscious mind, what Mindscripting does is it actually goes in and bypasses the conscious mind to actually deal with your unconscious engine, which is the one thing that's driving your life. And Mindscripting reprograms it directly by using a proprietary blend of multi-layered audio, guided visualization, neural reconditioning, and being able to go in and actually rewrite your limiting beliefs at their core. So it's not just surface level change. There's deep rewiring going on that involves lasting transformation. So how it works is that we have an audio-driven experiential process that's not just about listening, but actually engaging the mind in this structured sequence that's designed to bypass any resistance from your conscious mind and then plant powerful transformative scripts into the subconscious. So that's what the Zygon technology is really about, and it's been a process of about 40 years of development and research, and I took some time off in between that, but this thing really got started in the mid to late 80s, and it's all about subconscious programming. So what really is required is that if you commit to the process, Mindscripting will actually change how you think, and more importantly, how you see yourself and how you act automatically. So it's not about really trying harder. It's about you at your core being able to shift your belief systems and being able to rewire how you see yourself and how you see the world, and then the world will treat you differently. So anyway, that's basically kind of a summation of it. Those of you that have used it for any length of time know what I'm talking about. And although the change is subtle, it's cumulative over a period of time. And I'm sure you've noticed that there are little subtle shifts in how you think and how you see the world and how people treat you. So anyway, we're going to go right to questions and see if we can drill down on some people that are having some issues with the process and go from there. So first question from someone, and I've heard this a couple times, they said, I've been doing this for a while, about a year, and I don't feel much difference. Why is that? Well, as we were just talking about, change happens at the subconscious level. And so sometimes it's subtle, and you don't realize how much you've actually shifted. So it's kind of like exercise. I can't tell you how much different I feel from day to day. In other words, yesterday working out versus today. But I can tell you that over the last 4 to 6 weeks, I definitely feel different. My body feels different. I have more energy. The soreness that I originally started with started going away. So you have to think about it kind of like that it's like exercise. It's a cumulative effect that occurs over a period of time. And also, are you really doing it? Are you actually really engaging in the process on a daily or every other day minimum time frame. So those of you that are doing it once a week, or you're doing a session, every now and then, on a sporadic basis, try doing this once a day for 30 days. Keep a journal and actually put down in your journal all of the good news, the bad news, how you feel, what your reactions are. Keep track of what you're doing, and then look at it 30 days from now and look back at what you wrote when you first started and look at it 30 days later, and I guarantee there's going to be difference. You're going to feel something. Some of you who have deep issues that you're dealing with in terms of changing your belief systems, the change will take longer. It's not going to be that this is an instant thing and you're going to attract prosperity overnight, but you're going to feel different. And the world out there treats you pretty much what your set of expectations are, your positive self-expectancy. So if you feel good about yourself, that's the base ground level that we're trying to achieve. And then you feel more confident, you go out, you start, exposing yourself more to the world and feeling good about yourself. And naturally what will happen is things will happen in a positive way for you. Okay, so how do I know that it's working? That's kind of an obvious question. Well, again, what we just talked about, there are small mind shifts that happened. Look at how the little triggers in life didn't affect you in the same way. Standing in line, you're not as frustrated. Going to work in the morning and driving in rush hour traffic doesn't feel as threatening as it did before. You don't get as emotionally upset. Your anxiety levels are more in control. This is the slow progress that occurs in how you see yourself and how you see fitting into life, and just have this feeling that life is somehow naturally going to unfold in the way that it's supposed to. So that's how you'll know it's working. It's subtle. There are little shifts. You just don't have that sense of doom and gloom. Everything's going to be okay. Your life is working. It's just those subtle feelings. That's how you know. It's the little things that cumulatively add up. Okay, so here's someone asked me, how can I use Mindscripting without headphones? Answer, no. The sound processing, which is multi-layered, is actually spatially delivering sounds into certain areas of the brain. So without headphones, you're not going to get that effect whatsoever. So you do need to wear headphones when you're doing like a brain supercharger session, an ultra meditation session, and now with the new REM, rapid emotional healing method, which uses some of the same technology in the reframing process, you need stereo headphones. Now there are boosters, and again, this is what's required to get the brainwave entrainment effect, to be able to alter your brain waves into that alpha theta state, and to be able to make this process work. Now, of course, there are, like in the Brain Supercharger series, there are reinforcement tools and things that you can play in the background, and those are really designed to activate some of that underlying programming that you're getting with the Mindscripting technology. So there are some things that you can do and use which are effective, that are reinforcement tools. But to get that main effect, spend the 28 minutes a day and just consider it to be, this is your meditation time. Pick a time that you can promise yourself that you're going to do it with, at least 4 times a week. And your commitment is 28 minutes. You're going to feel good afterwards. Take 5-10 minutes right afterwards to write in your journal. This is an important part of the process, not only because it allows you to look back a couple of weeks later and see what your progress is, but even more importantly, you're going to get a ton of creative ideas. This is a time when it's cathartic, you're processing stuff and it's coming out of you, and the tactile pen on paper will stimulate the output of those ideas. So this is really a valuable thing to do, and I encourage it. And next question, how long before I see results? Well, it depends. For some people, the shift is like very quickly. Within a matter of days or weeks, they're feeling something. They're feeling, more in charge of their life. For others, it takes longer, and it's more subtle, and it depends upon, what you're processing. But again, like I said earlier, journal it and look back and watch it. You should look. All of us should be meditating every day anyway, and because the technology here actually meditates you, just use this for your meditation time. For some people, they find that they're so busy they have to wait till the end of the day before they go to sleep. I recommend not doing that because for a lot of people it will keep you awake and you need to have a full rested sleep. And for some people that actually can journal, you can journal in the morning or when you wake up at night because your dream processing is going to be more intense. You do a brain supercharger regularly, your dreams are going to be more intense because you're bringing out those unconscious ideas. Can I listen while I'm doing other things, is someone else's question. Well, the answer to that is obvious, no. This is a focused time. It's not something you multitask with. So when you're doing a brain supercharger, you're doing any of these deep work on yourself, processes, just focus on that. This is only your life, right? So, use this time, which is extremely valuable, to, direct your attention inward and focus on just doing this. So, what if I fall asleep while listening? Well, that happens. You're tired. It's no different than, getting home after a hard day's work, and instead of having 2 beers, you do a brain supercharger session, and yeah, you might fall asleep. It's bringing you at a brainwave state down into that alpha theta range, and it's holding you there for a period of time while the mind scripting processes are going on. So it is possible to drift off and go to sleep. Generally speaking, if the soundtrack is on, you're not actually sleeping. You're actually in more of a twilight stage just before sleep. However, I've done it myself. So sometimes I'll just take them off and I'll nod off and I'll go to sleep for 10 or 15 minutes and wake up and feel incredibly refreshed. So that's not like a bad thing. And it's something that if that does occur, that you're just too tired to wake up and do your journal and you fall asleep, I don't see that as being a problem. Another question is, can I use multiple mind scripting programs at once? So the answer is yes, you certainly can. You can rotate them, like the Brain Supercharger program, or let's say you're doing an ultra meditation, and the purpose of that, which is not so much programming, it's really going within in a deep way and gaining insight and what have you. Generally, I would recommend those staying with one core issue at a time. So over a 30, 60-day period, you're working on success conditioning. I would just stick with programs or titles that rotate around that. Jumping into something else like your weight control program or something like that, I wouldn't do that. I would just stick with your core thing and stick with it for 4 to 6 weeks or longer until you are feeling that there's things happening there. Because the sounds are similar from title to title, it doesn't mean that you're not getting the benefit from all of them. You are. But it probably would be better, like let's say if you're doing the Millionaire's Mind program, for example, just stick with the Millionaire's Mind program and stick with it for several months. And then maybe rotate in something else here and there. But it's that focused attention that will bring you the greatest results. So that's pretty much it. That's the questions that we had right now. I guess some closing thoughts. This isn't magic. You're actually rewiring patterns of belief and behavior that have been ingrained for a significant period of time. In fact, no matter what age you are right now, whether you're in your 30s or you're in your 60s, the you that's you took that long to become you. And those were, programs that were wired into your unconscious over years and years and years of experiences. So the expectation that overnight I can just suddenly unwind that or rewire that is kind of an unrealistic belief. So stick with the program, commit to the process, and I guarantee you within a matter of weeks, you will start feeling something different. And over a period of months and years, as you're taking action on the goals that you have, this provides like a very powerful reinforcement, and you can become the person that you always wanted to be. So that's pretty much it for today's session. If you have any other questions, please feel free to email me. And in our next program, we'll talk not just about Mindscripting, we're going to talk about the overall goals of really what your personal evolution is all about and about transformation. So you can ask me any question you want. My email address is dane@zygon.net, or you can email the team, which is team@zygon.net. And I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to hearing what your experiences are, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions directly. And if there's a topic of interest that you'd like to deal with in these coaching sessions, just let me know and I'll be happy to deal with them here. So anyway, thanks for coming, and I'll see you next time.